Hello, and thank you for joining me for a quick sort of restorative 10-minute yoga flow. So go ahead and start on our mats in a comfortable seated position. Go ahead and please remove your socks and your shoes so that you can kind of really root down into your feet and stay grounded from the feet all the way up. Very important in our yoga practice, but we will begin sitting in a comfortable position for you. So I'm sitting cross-legged right now. That may not be comfortable for you, so find a position that does feel comfortable. Quick note, if you are sitting in a similar position that I am in, I want you to make sure your spine is nice and long so that you're not rounding like this. You want to think of your pelvis like a bucket. So if it were filled with water, you want that bucket to tip forward, okay? You don't want it to tip backward. So if you're having a difficult time doing that, take a pillow, nice thick pillow, maybe some thicker towels, a couple blankets, and put them down on your mat and then sit up on top of them. So that way that can help your pelvis tilt forward, okay? So I'll go ahead and turn back towards you. We'll just get in a nice comfortable seated position here. And we'll do a few kind of minutes of just some breath work, just to connect to our breath and to kind of leave the day where it is and just focus inward, which is sometimes hard to do for many of us. So I will have you gently close your eyes, place your hands on your knees, really root down through your tailbone and lengthen up through the crown of your head towards the ceiling. So notice that my heart is open, right? I'm not rounding through my shoulders. My heart is open, but my ribs are not flared either. So try to keep those ribs, the rib cage down, not necessarily popping forward, okay? So that's gonna engage through the core a little bit. And from here, we'll just focus on a few rounds of nice deep breaths. First in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Now, as you inhale, I want you to think about filling your belly with air and your lower pelvic floor. Okay, so that may be hard for us to do because a lot of us tend to just breathe into our chest. So it helps if you put a hand down there. And as you inhale, you want your belly to expand. It's like you're filling up a balloon. So take a nice inhale, that hand should move out. Pause and then fully exhale through the mouth. A few more rounds just like this, making sure that we're taking full inhales and full exhales. We're not rushing it. One more round of inhale in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Excellent work. From here now we'll just focus on inhaling in through our nose and exhaling out through our nose as well. Now making sure that as we move through our breath that we're letting go of any competition or judgment or expectation. And we're going to take this focus through our practice. We're going to remain focusing on our breath throughout the practice as we add some movement in. So if your mind starts to wander a little bit, just try to bring it back to your breath and just focus on that breath as we move on. Excellent work. Gently open those eyes and then just check in with yourself. Do you feel a little bit more grounded after that few minutes of breath work? I know that I definitely do feel a bit more grounded in my body and just feel more at ease. So I hope that you feel the same. Excuse me. Could feel that coming. So I hope that you feel the same. Now from here, we're gonna go ahead and add some movement. So I'm gonna inhale, reach my arms up, look up. Excuse me, exhale. Hands start center. Inhale. And exhale. Try to focus on inhaling and exhaling out through the nose as best you can, unless you're sneezing like me. Staying rooted down in through your sit bones as you reach up, lengthening through the side body. A couple more rounds here. Excellent work. We'll do one more round of inhale, arms up. And then from here, we'll exhale, reach our hands forward. Now this is a great place if you have those thick towels that you need to sit on. If you place them out in front of you, those are gonna help you reach your forehead to the floor or lift the floor up to your forehead. Because ideally, I want your forehead to be resting on something. So if you're not, if you don't have the space to be able to reach your forehead to the floor, go ahead and grab those towels or blocks if you have yoga blocks. So that way you can reach the floor, or you're elevating the floor to meet you. Making sure that sit bone is reaching back. Tucking the chin, relaxing the head and neck. Good. Inhaling, walking those hands back up. Exhaling, hands to the knees. Good. We'll inhale, arms up. And then exhale, extend that right arm down to the side and extend that left arm up and over. We'll hold here for a few rounds of breath. Really lengthening through that left side body. Good. Inhaling, arms up through center. Extending and then exhaling, reaching that left arm over, right arm up. Rooting down through that right hip and lengthening through those right fingertips, relaxing that left shoulder. Good. Inhaling, arms up. We're going to switch which leg is crossed in front now. And then exhale, reach over. We'll add more of a flow to this. So exhale, reach. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, reach over. So you're not following my breath. You are following your own breath. I'm just here to make suggestions. Good, excellent. Come back up to center. Exhale, arms down. Good, now I add a little bit more movement. Kind of adding a half circle out in front of us with our arms. So we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach that left arm over. And then rotate, reach that left arm out and in front, and then reach that right arm to follow it. And then we'll reverse it. So inhale, arms up. And then exhale. So adding some movement here, but staying rooted in through the hips. Should feel really good in through the low back. Good, we'll pause here in the center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands toward center. Nice work. From here, we'll move on to all fours. So knees are underneath the hips, wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders, and we're gonna set up for some cat-cows here. So fingertips are spread wide. We're gonna inhale, gentle arch, so we're gonna look forward, and then exhale, push the mat away, round through that spine. Really draw that belly button up and back and in, tucking the chin, making that C shape, pushing the mat away from you. Inhaling to arch. Opening through that heart and collarbone. Exhale. Good, one more round here. Good, we'll draw the knees out as wide as the mat, tuck your toe, or draw your big toes to touch, and then sit your hips back towards your heels. Extend those arms out in front, fingertips are spread nice and wide into child's pose. Also a great place to use your block if your forehead isn't reaching the mat comfortably. Go ahead and use a block or whatever you have at home to make the floor come to you. Really important to take this practice as restorative, so we're not forcing anything, we're easing into each pose. So if you prefer to bring your arms back here, you can go ahead and do that as well, if you prefer not to have an extended child's pose. From here, I'm going to take my glasses off. What we're going to do is, you're going to keep that forehead on the mat or the block, and then you're just going to rotate your forehead onto kind of one side and then the other, sort of just bringing some more attention to that forehead space. Should feel really good. Relieving any tension. What about the eyes, the temple? Good. Coming back to center. Good. Coming up nice and slow. Good. From here, we'll come to just a modified plank position. So wrists are stacked underneath shoulders. We'll go ahead and lower down all the way to the mat, nice and slow. We'll go ahead and extend the legs. So untuck the toes, so the tops of the feet are on the mat. We'll slide those hands back for a little baby cobra. So we'll go ahead and push those frontal hips, your hip bones into the mat. So you're exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. Exhaling to lift. Hands are light on the mat. Exhaling to lower. One more here. Good. From here, we'll go ahead and move on to our backs. We'll go ahead and extend one leg. Right knee in, extend the left leg. Just stretching out that low back, rotating our ankle from one side to the other. Lots of action, or this straight leg is very active. It's not just hanging out in space. So we're trying to get the back hamstring, that left hamstring, to the mat. It may not want to go there, so just be mindful of that, but also you're striving to get that. We're going to inhale and then exhale, switch sides. Left knee in, right leg extended. Good. Draw both knees in now. Give them a nice squeeze. Tuck the chin. Make yourself into a tiny little ball. And then exhale, extend both arms, both legs out. And reach opposite arm and opposite foot. So you're kind of lengthening that side, alternating. It's if someone's pulling you by one hand and the opposite leg. Should feel really good in like the front of the hip, the low back. Good. From here, we'll draw the knees in towards the chest. We'll drop them over to the left. Extend the arms like a T, and then turn your gaze to the right for a nice, easy spinal twist. Good. If you're finding it hard to bring your knees or that bottom knee to the mat, then go ahead and use your blankets or your pillow to raise the floor up to you. Good. Draw the knees in towards the chest, then drop them over to the right. Then extend your arms out like a T and turn your gaze to the left. Good. We'll draw the knees in towards the center and then extend our legs for final resting pose, Shavasana. So do let your legs kind of turn out. Your toes turn out in opposite directions. That's going to do external rotation in the hips. Open up the palms so you can receive that new energy that you just cultivated in your practice. Let your body get very heavy. So sink your body into the mat. Try not to hold anything up. Imagine your body melting into the mat and the mat melting into the floor. Do begin to scan your body for anywhere you might be holding tension. Sometimes for me that's between the eyebrows, around the jaw, maybe around the neck and the shoulders. And this is often the hardest part of yoga, just being still. So if your mind starts to wander, that's not abnormal. But just bring your attention right back to your breath. Let that thought come in and let it go right away as quickly as it came in. And focus that attention back on your breath. Begin to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes to kind of wake your body up. And draw your knees in towards your chest when you're ready. And then drop your knees over to your right. Extend your right arm over your head, creating a little pillow for your head and neck. And then when you're ready, scoot yourself up to a comfortable seated position. We'll close practice with just a few rounds of deep breath here. So we'll take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. One more here. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you got what you came for and have a restful sleep.